Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of UKEduStories with myself, Vicky Youssef, and my co-host, Mark Anderson. Now, you'll notice there's a slightly different feel. This is going to be a shorter episode for a particular reason. We're just going to give you a flavour, a little bit of promotion for hashtag TeachMeet UKEduStories, and we have a phenomenal episode and lineup for you next week. So, what we'll do today is just to run through who's going to be presenting and give you an overview of the sessions they're going to be presenting as well for 5 minutes. And and just talk a little bit about that. We've got a special guest that's going to be joining us partway through as well, so they'll be able to promote and share what they'll be doing as well. But before we actually share who our presenters will be next week, Mark, very quickly and very briefly, how has your week been?
It's been fantastic. Is it Thursday already? I can't believe it. It feels like Monday because it's just gone so quickly. What was I doing? I had this conversation with somebody today, actually. I can't believe how quickly this year has gone. We're in December. It's just, yeah. So great week. Really good as always. Lots of things sort of ticking along in the background, but most of it has been surrounded with getting things sorted for TeachMeet UKEduStories, UKEduStories next Thursday. And I'm so excited because we've got so many great presentations from so many different aspects of education right across the board. We've got diversity in so many different ways, sort of built in right across the whole thing as well. Yeah, I'm just really proud of what we're doing. There's a whole bunch of prizes that we've been lining up. The event is being sponsored and supported by Classroom.cloud. Please do check out them. They were actually on my app event calendar on the 2nd of December. That's been going really well this week. And looking forward to tomorrow's entry. Tomorrow's entry is actually from somebody other than me tomorrow. It's one of the global EdTech authors, Marie-Claire Kelly. She's sharing something that I will keep until tomorrow morning, but very much looking forward to sharing that. It is something that I've used in the classroom myself, so it's been around for a little while. And if you know that I've not taught for a little while myself, but yeah, really excited for the event next week, Bookie. There's so many great presentations. As you all have seen, viewers, and please do say hello in chat. If you've got any questions about next week, then please jump in. You might want to sort of give us some responses about some of the people that we got lined up to present and share at the event as well. But we're really pleased to have the one and only Jill, or Dr. Jill Berry, as our keynote presenter. Starting things off. Please bear in mind as well, the show next week isn't at its usual time. It's a TeachMeet, so we're going for TeachMeet times next Thursday. As you'll see there, we're kicking off at 5:30. So 5:30, as always, live streamed from my Twitter and from YouTube on the UKEduStories YouTube account. We'll be starting off, say, with a keynote from Jill Berry. And after that, Bookie, who's up with our very first presentation on the schedule, Bookie?
Well, we have Nikki Kaiser with her presentation, Linking to Science. Good to Science, focusing your radar on misconceptions. Now, I know that Nikki has done a lot of work with chemistry, Key Stage 4 chemistry particularly, and looking at misconceptions. So from a scientific viewpoint, I'm quite excited, but I'm sure that there will be some strategies, some general teaching and learning strategies that we can actually all take and use from that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that as well, because Nikki's been involved in a lot of research, has sort of been tied in with the Education Endowment Foundation and other organisations as well. And so whilst there'll be a bit of a science focus in there, like you say, I am positive that there are going to be lots of takeaways for all teachers in her session. So I'm really looking forward to her after her presentation after Dr. Jill Berry. Next up, after Dr. Jill, we've got Kulvinder Kaur. She's doing a presentation, Do Science with Me. Now, I understand this is primary science, Bookie, is that right?
Yes, that's right, yes. So Kulvinder is a very experienced primary science consultant, or primary teacher as well. And she even shared a feature on LinkedIn earlier about the fact that she's been able to still go into schools and provide support. But she is so inspirational, and I'm sure that will come through so clearly during her 5-minute presentation next week.
Yeah, as always with a TeachMeet, they're going to be short, sharp, and sweet. We got our countdown ready in a 24 style, although it won't be 24 minutes or 24 hours even. It'll be just 5-minute presentations. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm sure our show producer behind the scenes will be very good at keeping everyone to time, and we'll be doing our bit as well to throw the virtual TeachMeet teddy bear should people go on a bit too long. A bit like me right now. So straight after Corvinda, we've got someone. Now, I'm not quite sure who this person is, but they're doing a presentation on why I love coaching conversations and top tips for facilitating them. Their name is UKEduStories. Are you aware of who that person is?
I am, Mark, and I would say that she is a first-rate shenanigator. So yes, yeah. As a qualified coach, I love anything to do with coaching, so I just look forward to sharing some top tips with regarding that.
And I'm looking forward to learning from you as well, Bookie. So that's going to be a little personal highlight for me to put you on the spot a little bit and hear your presentation at the same time. So we're looking forward to that. Who's next, Bookie?
We then have the wonderful Graham Andre. I have to say, yes, just a quick plug that if you're actually up for Christmas movies, hashtag Twitter movie night will still be continuing during the Christmas break. Quick plug for there. Unsolicited, I have to share that because it's really good. And he's going to have a session called Selling Santa's House, a couple of Christmas ideas. So it's going to be interesting to hear what that's going to cover. But it's Christmas themed, obviously, and maybe just give them some ideas as we officially begin the countdown towards the much needed and very well deserved Christmas break.
I know, I can't wait. And that's part of the reason why we're doing this TeachMeet as well. You know, there's been a real need for teachers to sort of kick back a little bit and have a bit of fun. And what better way to do that with a bit of a TeachMeet, albeit we can't all be in the same room together. It's just a lovely opportunity to come together and share and all those different things. I've got something in my eye here, Bookie, sorry.
Okay.
Next up, after Graham, we've got Ed Finch. Now, his presentation is called Telling Stories. Now, honestly, after Ed's presentation in the thing that we organised at the end of the academic year just for the summer, it could be anything. It could be him playing ukulele. It could be him doing it. I don't really quite know. But one thing it will be really heartfelt and really inspirational. And I'm sure it'll have lots of takeaways for people to sort of run with and think about. And in the TeachMeet style, think about being able to use the very next day in their classrooms.
Right. So Ed will be followed by Jules Dorby. She's someone who's actually come on our show before and a very experienced teacher, particularly in a special school setting. And her session is going to be on 3 inclusive classroom top tips that anyone can actually use tomorrow. So I'm quite excited because it could be linked to assistive technology. It could be used to some of the strategies that she recently set up a YouTube channel during the initial lockdown period to help continue the learning with her students. So I think it's going to be interesting either way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Next up after Jules, and I say I'm really looking forward to hearing from Jules, long-time friend, long-time sufferer, but I'm really pleased to welcome Patrick Otley O'Connor back to the show as well. He's going to be doing a presentation which he's titled Creating a Culture of Equitable Talent Development Through Performance Management. And one thing that we can always say about Patrick is not only that he's really entertaining, but he's so grounded in making sure that people are well looked after, really visionary. I remember Amy Jeatley sort of talking so passionately about the things that he did while they were working together. So I'm really excited to hear more from the inspirational wonder and chef from some of his tweets, if you've seen them, Patrick Otley. So really looking forward to his presentation. Next up, Bookie, we've got
Zina Zenanos, and she will be delivering a session simply called Powerful Relationship Leadership. Now, Zina is someone who is an extremely talented school leader, and I know that her theme is about leading with love and how she's actually shared, on previous episodes, the power in, establishing rapport with her students. So I'm very much looking forward to what she's got to share, and I know the tips and advice that she will share will be, can be implemented by anyone.
Absolutely. Next up on the presentation, on the schedule, we've got the one and only Rogers history. That's Tom Rogers, someone I've known for a long time as well. He is involved in lots of things, from TeachMeet history icons to the whole TeachMeet icons events that he's helped to shape and bring in so many different ways. History teacher by trade, and someone I've actually met at lots of TeachMeets as well over the years as well. He's delivering a presentation for us, which I think will be really helpful for lots of people. We'll be teaching those that don't want to know. And we've all had some of those in our classrooms, haven't we? So I'm sure there'll be some brilliant golden nuggets in his presentation.
Okay, so next up is someone, I hope he doesn't make me laugh as much as he did during the very first episode that I co-presented but with COVID UKEduStories as it was then. And it will be Howell Roberts' Curriculum Stories. So extremely entertaining man. I'm even laughing now. He hasn't even said anything or done anything. So I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. Howell, as I've mentioned to you before, Bookie, he did one of the keynotes for me and my colleagues at Clevedon School when I worked there, TeachMeet Clevedon, which was a fantastic event to be involved with and all that way back when. But yeah, maybe I should have prepared you for one of Howell's presentations before we came on for your first ever episode. But entertaining and all those things, you know, he'll make you laugh. But what's great about Howell as well, with his stories and the things that he shares, he's got equal opportunity to make you cry with the sort of the pathos that he brings to the stories that he shares in his presentation. So super excited to hear from Howell. And next up, we've got someone who I know very, very well indeed, because I co-host another show with him on Monday nights called Learn Live UAE. And I don't know if I've told you this, Bookie. Have I told you that Ollie and I are up for an award for that show?
I think you've mentioned it a few times.
Once or twice.
Well, all the best with it. You know, great to hear that you have been shortlisted for it. So, and I hope you do win. But anyway, that's an aside.
Fingers crossed. And as if by magic, by the power of technology, it just so happens. And I've not got any special effects. I can't sort of beam him across using a transporter, Star Trek style. But he's here now. Welcome, Ollie.
Hi, Ollie. Good to see you.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you very much. Thanks for waiting in the wings. What's it like being someone back in the, not actually being presenting, just sort of sitting out there in the virtual green room? What's that like?
It's a bit more relaxing, actually. I have to say that it's a little bit more chilled, a bit less pressure, actually. Having said that, though, I did a podcast for the Learning Dust guys a couple of weeks back, and it's a lot easier to ask the questions than it is to answer them. I certainly say that. So whilst right now I'm pretty relaxed and calm, I have to say that if you start firing questions at me, I shall probably start to feel a little bit more tense. But it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, we had no questions, no nasty surprises or questions. So it's
excellent.
All good.
Brilliant.
And see, I'd feel bad about asking Ollie questions now, because we've just been planning our episode for Learn Live UAE on Monday. We're doing a big quiz for the end of term for schools in the UAE on Monday. We've got some great prizes lined up for that, just as we have for TeachMeet UKEduStories. But I feel all the questions that come to my mind right now, Bookie, are ones which are actually in the quiz. So
okay.
I can't do that because I can't give the game away, can I? Lips are sealed. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Ollie, TeachMeet, thank you so much for signing up and saying that you'll share at the actual TeachMeet. What do you think of the lineup so far?
I'm utterly aghast, because you've got such an amazing array of presenters, diverse in their kind of skills, expertise, in what they'll share. It's a bit like a roll call of awesomeness. Like, how on earth have you managed to pull it together? It's amazing. So I take my hat off to both of you and to all of the presenters that will share at the event. I know it'll be such a brilliant set of takeaways that, usually when you attend a TeachMeet, there might be 2 or 3 kind of hallmarks of things that stand out to you. But listening to everybody that you've said so far, I'm like, I want to listen to that, and I want to listen to that, and I want to listen to that person. It's going to be amazing. So thank you so much on behalf of everybody that does attend, because it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Ollie.
that. That's very, very kind of you to say. Did you want to talk a little bit about what you're going to share? I was going to bring up your little sort of promo slide so that people can sort of read what it's about. But what are you going to be sharing, Ollie?
So the title of my 5-minute talk is what I've learned about teaching with technology. I'm just going to reflect on a few points pre and then since COVID with regard to teaching and learning and technology. Some things, those of you that sort of follow me on various social media channels, might surprise you, and some things that I'm going to share might not surprise you with regard to technology.
Okay.
Oh, we always like some surprises, don't we?
I think it's important every now and then, keeps people engaged.
Keeps them on their toes. Okay. But I'm going to be keenly interested to hear, like, is there a stark difference between tech use before COVID and tech use during COVID? Any stark differences? So yeah, as always, as an ed tech advocate, I'll be interested and keen to hear what you've got to share.
That's great. Thank you, Becky.
Absolutely. Ditto too. Are you okay to stick around while we do the rest of the announcements on? Is that okay?
Yeah, I want to hear who else is on the lineup because it's been brilliant so far.
Okay,
cool.
so
Bookie, do you want to do the next?
yes, so after you, Ollie, we have Yamina Bibi, a fantastic educator based in London, who's going to be doing something vocabulary structure. So I know Yamina is an English teacher and a phenomenal one. She's done a lot of different events, including one with Mary Meyer, I believe, and Seneca, if my memory serves well, with regards to the English curriculum. So it'll be good to hear some of the tips that she shares during her 5-minute presentation about how we could actually use vocabulary within English as well as in different subjects across the school. But immediately, I've just jumped ahead. No, I will stop talking because I misread who I thought was next. So after her, yeah.
After Yamina, we've got Amy Jeatley, somebody I mentioned a few moments ago. She's going to be sharing a presentation which she's titled "Effects of Over Busyness on Emotional, Mental, and Physical Health." And given where we are, what's been happening this financial year, this academic year, and last academic year as well. Goodness knows how busy everyone in education has been. So I'm sure there's been some great ideas and takeaways from her 5-minute presentation as well. So really looking forward to that session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the person I was going to then mention is somebody that you may know, Ollie. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if the audience will know, actually. Someone who's going to be sharing some keyboard shortcuts to make your life easier. And it's somebody called Mark Anderson. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be good.
I'm looking forward to sharing, Bookie. The thing is, as you and Ollie know, I'm a big fan of marginal gains. Yeah, because there's no big silver bullet when it comes to actually, making big inroads in what you can do. But productivity is something I'm really passionate about. And one really easy way that you can actually improve your productivity and your efficiency and all the rest of it is through using a variety of different keyboard shortcuts. As you know, I mean, some of them, Bookie, I've taught you, like Command, Control, Shift, and 4.
Well, particularly on the Mac. I'm a Windows person. I've used Windows. Yes. Yeah.
But I'll be doing it across the board. So if I mention one like that, Command, Control, Shift, and 4, I'll be sharing how you do the same thing for a screenshot in Windows on a Chromebook. It's going to be a sort of device agnostic presentation in that respect. And I'll be sharing a few other little things to help you with your product. It won't be just strictly limited to keyboard shortcuts, but it's going to be some really easy, simple wins with technology. With the technology you've already got available to you that you can sort of add into your teaching and learning toolkit and start using straight away. So that's
Looking forward to it.
I feel like I should jump in and do the next person. The next person is Nick Bentley. I really loved meeting Nick, albeit virtually for the first time on our show recently. So I'm really excited to have him come back on. He was such a really passionate and engaging guy. I really enjoyed what he had to say on our show, and so I'm really looking forward to hearing his presentation, which is engaging and inclusive approaches to encourage students in their writing. And this is something that I think will be of use to everyone, because we're all teachers who've got responsibility around literacy. And so whether it's something that he's focusing on in primary or secondary, wherever it is, I think we'll all be able to get a few takeaways to help us with our work with young people in the classroom, regardless of our subject and phase that we work in. So really looking forward to hearing Nick share next week.
Yes, and then immediately following Nick.
Thursday.
Sorry, I know.
I can't believe it's next Thursday.
It's going to be here just like that. But immediately following Nick is Kiran Saty, and she's going to be presenting about diversity in reading. And I know that as someone who's also involved in Women Ed, particularly having led the Women Ed Book Club, reading is something that's really important to her, as well as diversity. So I'm really interested to hear which particular angle she's actually going to frame her presentation at. I'm just distracted by the comments and people who've actually joined us this evening. So thank you so much, everyone that's just joined us and actually just shared some comments to say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just take a moment to say hello to them. So hello to Amy. She's really looking forward to the TeachMeet next week. We've also got Sarah Hazel, who is also saying she's a bit late to the party. I'm not going to say the next person because it's one of our presenters, actually. We're going to be announcing their presentation in just a moment. But I don't want to sort of do that until we get to that point in the schedule. So next up after, do you want to do the next person? Bookie, is that okay? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, Lena Carter. So pleased that Lena will be joining us. She's got a wealth of wisdom. She's also an author as well as an educator. But she is going to do a session on calm classrooms and communities. And I think it's exactly what we need right now. So super excited. Don't have full details about it, but I know that whatever Lena does, Lena set up a new vlog channel during the very first lockdown period within the UK, and her tips and advice was just so calming and so practical. So I know that whatever she'll be doing, we'll all benefit from it and also feel more calm and in the moment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I say Lena Carter, you might know her on social media as Lena Bellini. If you come across her social work, not social work, but it is social work. But yeah, her sharing on social media, that's how you might know her for that. So again, also really looking forward to hearing from her. Next up is this young lady who has joined us in the chat. And that's not actually her real name. This is Kat Kinshaw. Kat Kinshaw is someone I know, worked with very recently in helping me deliver I helped her deliver more to the truth, the IAPS Aspiring Deputy Head Teachers Conference, which is a great event. It was fantastic to have her involved with that. She's now saying hello. So the comments are sort of flying in thick and fast now. I'm really looking forward. Her presentation at the Aspiring Deputy Head Teacher Conference was really, really good. And I know, Ollie, you've connected with Kat recently as well. So Kat's presentation is titled "What I Have Learned About Leadership, Social Awareness and Relationship Management." And as someone who's been a former head teacher, helped turn schools around, supported with all these sort of things, and worked in lots of different sort of phases and spaces, both in the state sector and in the independent sector, I know she's got a wealth of experience to bring to the table and share in her presentation next week. And like us, she's really looking forward to next week as well. Thanks for joining us on the show this evening. Kat, I hope you weren't worried when you saw the announcement on social media. I thought, oh my goodness, I got the date wrong. No, it's next week, 5:30 till 8 p.m. Don't worry, Kat, everything's going to be all okay. Bookie, who have you got next?
Immediately following Kat will be Nina Jackson, the incredible Nina Jackson. Cannot wait. A former guest on UKEduStories. Such fears and energy and insights. And her session is simply called Peace, Perfect Peace.
Yeah. You might not know this. Nina did a keynote on the big stage at ISTE yesterday.
No, massive. I did not know that.
So yeah, really looking forward to having Nina come and join us. Such is the quality of the presenters we've got for presenting as part of our TeachMeet. Really excited to have Nina join us, and she always speaks, right from the heart, but in such impactful and powerful ways. And in fact, she was actually speaking about globetrotting. She was on. I couldn't make it on Monday, but Ollie, she was the guest on Learn Live UE on Monday as well, wasn't she?
Oh, right.
She
Okay.
was, yeah. She was talking about recharging the right way and resting and finding balance. Yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah, totally.
Super duper.
Totally.
Our next presentation after Nina is Poonam Dave, and she was on the show recently looking at pastoral leadership. And so her presentation is simply titled Pastoral Leadership. So really excited to have her share more about her wealth of experience and knowledge. It's something which she is not only passionate about, but massively experienced in as well. So really looking forward to her presentation at a TeachMeet as well.
Okay. Poonam is then followed by Colin Grimes. Hi, Colin. I should say hello to him there, just quite randomly. And his session is on how to use Google Sites to showcase learning. And I first actually interacted with Colin, this is years ago, but with a query looking at EdTech shortcuts he was actually using. And he was very kind to actually show and explain the steps of what he actually did. So it's going to be really practical, enormously useful, as with all the other presentations. So keen and excited to look forward to that next week.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great guy, is Colin. So I'm looking forward to hearing and learning from him as well. Next up, we've got Nick Ford. And he's a fellow Apple Distinguished Educator, someone I've known for a long time, and he always speaks a lot of good sense. I've shared the stage with him. We had him come and speak on the Net Support stand at BET back in January, and he's got really insightful and experienced voice to share around the use of technology in education. And his presentation is titled AI and the Future of Teaching. So I'm really keen to sort of hear what he's got to share about that. And certainly AI is an area which is going to become ever prevalent in shaping what we do in education over the years. And so, yeah, super keen to learn what he's got to share about all of that.
And the very last speaker for the TeachMeet events next week is Yusuf Ibrahim, and his session is Engaging Learners Online. And I know he's someone that you've actually done quite a lot of work with. Is that right, Mark? Am I right in that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have done. He works at Cardiff and Vale College. They've got like 5,000 plus students, and teaching students online is a huge undertaking. So over the years, I've become good friends with him and James Donaldson and Helen Mathias and others who work at Cardiff and Vale College. It was really interesting seeing James Donaldson tweeting yesterday about them handing out, something like 1,000 laptops to all of their learners. Big scale, lots of support. But in recognition of sort of what they do, they won the FE I think it was a TES FE Awards, but they won the award for the best college use of technology of any college in the UK recently in the recent TES Awards. So, and that's something he takes responsibility for. So really keen to hear him share about what they've been doing at Cardiff and Vale College, because they are doing amazing work there. So that's that. The last bit of the TeachMeet, of course, is the bit at the end when we get to do the whole roulette prizes, and please do come along. We're not going to sort of share tonight what all the prizes are, but as with all good TeachMeets, it is definitely worth your while coming along, not just for the prizes. And in fact, the real winner, I would hope, is the children in your classroom and you in your professional practice. That's has always been the sort of thing that I hope that everyone would get from the TeachMeet. But it's lovely that some of our sponsors who are making this possible are going to be sharing the prizes, and a massive to the power of quite a lot. Thanks to the team at Net Support and Classroom.cloud, who are overarching sponsoring and supporting the delivery of this TeachMeet. I think I'm right in saying, Bookie, that we wouldn't be where we're at with the organisation for this event if it wasn't for the work of the team at Classroom.cloud. So thank you so very much.
Greatly appreciate the support. Yes, thank you. Really, share what Mark has said.
So that's it. It's a shorter episode this evening. Just wanted to run through the list of guests there. Ollie, did you have any other comments about the people there? Who are you most looking forward to hearing from, perhaps, apart from yourself and me and Bookie?
I get to hear myself all day, every day. No, I actually wanted to say something sincerely that we all run shows, and it's no mean feat running a show. But I'd just like to take my hat off really to both of you, because it's one thing being online hosting all the time, but to then actually go ahead and share at the event as well, I think that's fantastic of you both. I think that's really good, and I think it's really important that you both do share as well. So I'm really looking forward to hearing you two present. I'm looking forward to Kieran, because I remember seeing her share some. I can't remember the name of the book now, but it's a few episodes ago, way back when, I think May, sharing a book that she was reading there. So I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. And I'm keen to find out what Yusuf's up to at the TeachMeet. So those are my top 4 at the moment. But as I said earlier, I'm really excited to hear everybody.
Great, thank you.
Brilliant stuff, Ollie. Well, look, we said it was going to be a short one this evening. We said it'd be 15 minutes. Hopefully, not like the TeachMeet, which will run exactly the time next week. We will be absolutely spot on the money. But please do share with your colleagues. The more, the merrier. Share it around. We'll be live from 5:30. We might go in a little bit early just to give people a chance to sort of get them settled and grab themselves a cup of coffee and all those sort of things. But the best way to make sure that you don't forget that it's happening is to go to YouTube and sign up and subscribe to the UKEduStories YouTube channel. By doing that, when you go to the scheduled show, you'll see in the corner just over here, it will say, don't start pointing wrong. I'm terrible.
I think it's point out just to confuse everyone.
I think it's down here. Just tap on the reminder button, and if, like me, you've got YouTube on your phone and on your, in your browser and on all these sort of things already signed in, when it gets to the go time, you'll get a little notification come up and say the TeachMeet has started, and you'll be reminded. And you go, oh, you grab a cup of coffee and grab yourself a nice, comfortable seat and a notepad, and we'll be able to get started, and you'll learn lots alongside what we're doing across that evening. So look forward to seeing you next Thursday, 5:30 until 8 p.m. Don't forget to I've done it the wrong way again, haven't I? But don't forget to do the whole subscription and reminder thing. And I'll just pop this up one more moment quickly before we go. So join us for an amazing evening of professional learning, sharing, laughter, prizes, and surprises. And with that, it's time for us to say, see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Ollie, as well. And we'll see you next week for the TeachMeet. Can't wait.
Yeah. Take good care, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.